So in this video, we will learn how to share different files for different WooCommerce products. Now suppose guys, you are selling multiple courses online on your WooCommerce store and you want that whenever a customer purchases a particular course, the files or the folder of that particular course content should be shared from your Google Drive to the same customer who made the purchase. Now let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be receiving a new order for some particular course in our WooCommerce store. And the action will be sharing that same courses file from our Google Drive with the same customer who placed the order. Now how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give your workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as WooCommerce to Google Drive. And then just click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is, first we have to get the details or the data of new orders which we are receiving on our WooCommerce store inside Pabbly Connect. And after that, using Pabbly Connect, according to the what product or what course the customer has purchased on our WooCommerce store, on that basis, we are going to share that particular products or that particular courses file from our Google Drive with the same customer who made the purchase. So let's begin. So here in trigger window, in choose apps, search for WooCommerce. Select WooCommerce. And then in trigger event from the drop down, select new order created as your trigger event. So as you can see, after selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now we are going to use this webhook URL to connect our WooCommerce store with Pabbly Connect and get the new order details. So just copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. So after copying this webhook URL, what we have to do? We just have to go to our WordPress dashboard where we have installed our WooCommerce stores plugin. After that, from the left side, go to your WooCommerce stores option and then click on WooCommerce settings. After coming to this settings page, click on advanced. And then here you can see an option named as webhooks. Click on webhooks. Now you can see that all the webhook URLs which I have added in my WooCommerce store can be seen over here. Just click on this add webhook button. And after that, here we have to give this webhook URL a name. For example, I would like to name my webhook URL as Pabbly. Then in status, by default, it has selected disabled, so change it to active from the dropdown. Then it is asking us for the topic. And in front of topic in the dropdown below, you can see different events that for what event we want WooCommerce to send data to Pabbly Connect. So here in this dropdown, we have an option named as order created. And we want WooCommerce to send the data whenever a new order is created, whenever we receive a new order in our WooCommerce store. So select order created as your topic. Then in delivery URL, guys, we have to paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just click here and paste the same webhook URL. Let's ignore the secret and API version, keep it by default and click on Save Webhook. After clicking on Save Webhook, you can see that we have successfully added this webhook URL which we have received from Pabbly Connect in our WooCommerce store. And then the connection between our WooCommerce store and Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine. After adding this webhook URL, guys, here you can see that in Pabbly Connect, here you have received some kind of response. So this response says that the connection is working perfectly fine. Now just click on this recapture webhook response button. And after that, we will see it has changed to waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some details of a data of a new order from our WooCommerce store. Now what we are going to do? We are going to place a test order in our WooCommerce store. So let's go to our WooCommerce store and here you can see that these are all the products which I'm selling. So here you can see I have 2 different courses. Let's take an example of 2 courses. You may be having multiple courses, more than 2 courses as well, but the process of setting up this automation will be the same. So I have a Java course and a PHP course. And then I want that if a customer purchases a Java course, I want to share the folder with the Java course detail, Java course content from my Google Drive. And if the customer purchases a PHP course, then I want to share the PHP course folder from my Google Drive. So let's place a test order of this Java course for beginners for this product. Click on Add to Cart. And then here just proceed to checkout. After entering these details, here you have to enter the details of a dummy customer as well. So I have entered the name as dummy customer. This is the name. This is the address. And also you can see that we have the phone number and the email address of the customer who is placing this order. So whatever email address the customer is going to enter over here, on the same email address, we are going to share these files. So let's click on place order. And now we can see that this order has been successfully placed. And after placing this order, guys, because we have connected our WooCommerce store with Pabbly Connect, we will see the details of this same order will also be captured inside our Pabbly Connect workflow. So let's check. And yes, guys, here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we can see that we have received some response. And in this response, you can see the details of the same test order which we have placed just now can be seen over here. So we are going to scroll down and we will see some details regarding the same order. So just scroll down over here. And yes, here you can see that we have the total amount that for what was the total amount for which the customer has placed the order. Then after that, here you will see we have the subtotal, then we have the product ID, that what was the product which the customer has ordered. Then we have the name of the product as well, Java course for beginners. Then we are going to scroll down and we can see some details of the customer who placed the order over here. So when we'll scroll down, you can see that we have the address, the phone number, the name of the customer, the email address, and other details as well. So in this way, the details of a new order from WooCommerce can be captured inside Pabbly Connect. And this is the first step of setting up this automation which we have completed. Now what we have to do, we have to move to next step, the step 2. And in step 2, guys, on the basis of what product, what course the customer has purchased from a WooCommerce store, on that basis, we have to send or share a folder from our Google Drive with that particular course. So it is most likely possible, guys, you must be selling more than one course. So here, guys, what we have to do for each and every course, we have to create a different route, a different branch in this automation. So we took example of 2 courses in this video, but you can follow the same process for more than 2 courses as well. So in this automation, guys, what we have to do, we have to create 2 different routes for 2 courses. In the first route, if a customer has purchased one particular course, then in using that route, the automation will be executed and a particular folder will be shared from our Google Drive. If the customer purchases another course, our second course, then according to the second route, the automation workflow will be executed and the second course's folder will be shared from our Google Drive. So how you can set up these kind of branches, routes in your automation workflow? For that, just scroll down and come to our action window. And here, guys, what we are going to do, we are going to use a feature, a module of Pabbly Connect that is called router. Select router over here. So using router, guys, we are going to create multiple routes in this automation workflow. So by selecting router by Pabbly, by default, it has created 2 routes, but by clicking on this add route button, you can add several multiple routes as well. So let's create a first route. And we have 2 products. One is Java course, second one is PHP course. Right now, we have captured the response or the details of this Java course for beginners. So we are going to set up the first route for this course. Now what we have to do after adding router, let's set up this first route and click on set filter and action step. After this, it is asking us for the filter. Now what we have to do, we have to add a condition that by fulfilling what condition Pabbly Connect or this automation will grow, that it has to continue the automation with this route. So we are going to add a condition on the name of the product, the name of the course which the customer has purchased. Like if the name of the product is Java course for beginners, then this automation will be executed by this particular route. Now for that, just copy this same name of the exact name of the product which we have received in response, or the exact name of the product which we have given in our WooCommerce store. Then click on this set filter and action step, and here in select label, guys, from the drop down below, you can see all the responses which we have received from WooCommerce can be seen over here. And out of all of these responses, you have to select the response of line item name. So in this response, we are going to get the name of the product which customer has ordered. So you can select this response. And instead of name of the product, you can add this same condition, same filter on the response of product ID. as well. So if you have multiple products with the same name, you might be using the product ID to distinguish between separate products. Right now in this video, I'm just selecting name. So line item name, select this as the label. Filter type will be equals to, and in value guys, paste the exact same name of the product for which you are creating this route. And then just click on save and send test request. Now guys, because in this test response, we have purchased the same product, Java course for beginners, and we have entered the same condition for this route. That's why you can see that in response, we can see that this condition is true. So if a customer purchases this course of Java, then automation will be executed using this route. And what is the next step we want to do in this route? So what we want to do, we want to share the Java course folder from our Google Drive. So after this filter step, just click on this add action step button. And here in choose apps, search for Google Drive. So because we want to share our folder from Google Drive, just select Google Drive from here. And then in action event from the drop down, select the action event as share a file or folder by ID. So this is the action event, just select it, click on connect and select add new connection. Now here we have to connect our Google Drive account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this sign in with Google Drive button, select your Google Drive account, scroll down and click on continue. And as we click on continue, our Google Drive account gets connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting our Google Drive folder, the next thing it asks us is to select the file or folder ID. So here in the drop-down below, you can see a list of all the files and folders which you have in your Google Drive can be seen over here. And here you have to select the file or folder which you want to share whenever a customer purchases this product. So in my Google Drive guys, I have two different folders. First one is of a Java course content and second one is the PHP course content. So here guys, we have to select the Java course content as the customer purchases the Java course on a WooCommerce store, because for the Java course, we have created this workflow or this particular route should I say. So we are going to select Java course content over here in this file or folder ID. After selecting it, the next thing it asks us is the email address, that on what email address we want to share this folder or file. So here guys, what it is, we have received the email address of the customer who purchased the product from WooCommerce. And we have to basically map that same email address over here in this field. So guys, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and in the drop down below from the responses of WooCommerce, here you can see the response of email address of the customer. Just scroll down to the response of email address. So here it is, billing email, and select it. So whatever email address the customer is going to enter by making the purchase, on the same email address, we are going to share the file. Then it is asking us for the role, and in the drop down below, we have three different roles: can view, can edit, and can comment. So I want to share these files with the can view role with everyone. And the last one is whether to send a notification email. And yes, I want to send a notification email that a file or folder is shared with them. So that's why I'm selecting true over here. After all of this, just click on save and send test request. Now, when we click on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the file or folder which we have selected over here is being shared with the same user who has made the purchase on their email address. So let's check it. We are going to check the Gmail inbox or email inbox of the same user. So let's go to a new tab, open Gmail. And yes guys, here you can see that the user has received an email which says Avian Business shared a folder. So basically our business name has shared a folder and we have this same folder over here. Just click on this folder and now we can see that the user has accepted the invitation and now they can access this folder as well. So this means guys, the automation workflow which we have created in this route is working perfectly fine. And the Java course file with the same folder is being shared with the user. Now after this guys, here we have worked on our first route, the first route which we have created. Now after this, let's work on the second route. So we have created this first route for the Java course. Now we have to exactly replicate this same process for the second product or the third product or the fourth product as well. The only things which we have to change is this value in the filter which we have added in this route and the file which we are going to share on purchase of that particular product or particular course on a WooCommerce store. So we have to change this file or folder and the value of this filter over here. So just click on this close button. So we have created the first route. Now what we have to do, we have to basically clone this same step. because we want to replicate this some complete route. So what we are going to do, we are just going to click on these three dots and click on this clone step button. By clicking on clone button, the whole route will be cloned over here. So here you can see that clone route 1. So let me delete this route 2 on which we haven't worked till now. So let's delete it and let's rename this second route. So for example, PHP course. So this is the second route which we are going to set up, and let's rename the first route as Java course. So we have created the first route for Java course. Now, when we'll click on this PHP course, the course or the route which we have basically replicated or cloned, we are going to see the exact same route which we have created. Now, because we are creating this route for the PHP course, so here in value guys, we have selected the label as the name of the product which we are going to receive from WooCommerce. So here in value, we have to change this name for the name of the product of our PHP course, of our second course. So here, let's go to a WooCommerce store and we have to exactly copy the same name without any spaces or without any changes in the text. So this is the name of the product PHP course for beginners. Just exactly copy the same name and paste it over here in this filter and click on save and send test request. Now guys, the condition or the response in this filter step is showing the condition is false because we have received this test response for the Java course, and here we have added a filter for the PHP course. This also ensures that if a customer purchases the Java course, we are only going to send the Java course file to them. We are not going to sell the PHP course file to them as well. So instead of courses guys, you can add these conditions, this automation workflow for other products as well. We are just taking an example of courses. Now guys, because we have basically cloned this workflow, we also have to change the file or folder ID. But first, we have to reconnect our Google Drive account. Just click on this connected button, and because we have connected our Google Drive account in the previous route, we just don't have to make a new connection. You can select existing connection and click on save. After that, here in file or folder ID from the drop down below, select your folder for PHP course. So PHP course content was the name of the folder in which we are adding the PHP course content which we are selling on WooCommerce. So select your particular folder and rest of the things will be the same. We have the same mapped email address of the user, the same role and same notification status as well. And once again, just click on save on this button this time. We are not going to click on save and send test request. We are just going to click on save. And after this, here you will see that the second route of this automation is also created for the second product. In the same way, guys, you can create the same route. You can use the same process of using the router for your multiple product, for your other products as well using this automation. And now we will see that the automation workflow which we are creating has been created successfully. So after successfully creating this automation workflow, guys, we have to test that whether this automation workflow is working correct or not. So right now what we have done, we have shared this file of Java course because we have placed a test order of Java course in the beginning of this video. But now what we are going to do to test this automation workflow, we are going to make a purchase of the PHP course. So let's click on this PHP course for beginners. Let's add this course to cart and then let's proceed to checkout. After this, guys, what we are going to do, we are not going to make any changes in the customer details. Let's keep the exact same customer details and click on place order. After this, we will see that a test order for the PHP course will be placed on our WooCommerce store. After this, we can see that a test order is being placed on our WooCommerce store for PHP course for beginners. And then as we receive this order, we will see instantly, automatically, the customer who has purchased this product, the PHP course, will be shared a PHP course folder from our Google Drive. The same folder which we have selected in our workflow in the router step. So let's check it. So we'll go to our Gmail inbox. Let's refresh this inbox button. And yes guys, here we can see that a new email has been received, and here we can see that the PHP course content, the folder in our Google Drive which we have created for our PHP course, it's been shared with the same user who has placed the order on our WooCommerce store. When we click on it, here you can see that it is asking us to accept the invitation, and when we do that, here we can have the access to the same folder of PHP course over here, which means the customer who has placed the order will have access to the folder which you have created for that particular course. So guys, now we can see that we have successfully created this automation, and using this automation, this single automation, you can basically send or share files or folders from your Google Drive for the purchases your customer make on WooCommerce store on the basis of what product they are purchasing. For product 1, you can share folder 1 from your Google Drive. For product 2, you can share folder 2. For product 3, you can share folder 3, and you can keep on going using the same automation workflow. You just have to keep on adding the routes over here in this router step for each and every product you want. So guys, not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free. And also let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a forever free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.